Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Skiza. I'm the Interim Director of Graduate Studies, and today we want to share some ideas on why you should attend the 3-Minute Thesis workshop that's coming up soon in January. So just for reference, there's my name. I work alongside Kara Owens, the Assistant Director of Research and Graduate Studies, and you probably know Kara's name because she's sending out a lot of information to you on a regular basis, and some contact information is here on this slide for reference. So again, the goal of this short presentation is to explain what is a 3-minute thesis competition and what is this workshop that we're running and why should you attend. So we want to start with this basic premise that presentation skills are a critical part of professional development. All graduate students need to develop their communication skills to be ready for employment after they complete their degrees. This workshop that we're running is on January 24th from 3 to 4:30 p.m., and it's going to be run by CMU Communications Professor Dr. Leslie Withers. So why should you attend this workshop? It is low risk, high reward. In this workshop, you will learn concrete tips for effective oral communication. You will learn methods to explain your research or technical knowledge in a language for a non-specialist audience. This is extremely useful to prepare for interviews. And you should attend this workshop to decide if you want to enter the 3MT competition, which is on February 28th. And I'll explain what that is in the coming slides. Okay, so what is 3-minute thesis or 3MT competition? This is a competition that was developed many years ago, actually in Queensland, Australia. In this competition that happens worldwide, students explain their research in 3 minutes using just one PowerPoint slide. The goal is to engage and inform a general audience about the significance of your results. There are a lot of rules in the 3MT competition. You can use only one static PowerPoint slide, so there's no slide animations, there's no electronic media or sounds, or any props. None of those are allowed. Note cards are not recommended, and the presentations must be spoken word, no poems or raps or songs. And any competitors that exceed 3 minutes are disqualified. The judges' decisions are final, and these rules are on the Grad Studies webpage under Events. What does the winner receive? Well, there are some financial incentives. First place winner will receive $200, second place $100, and the People's Choice awardee will receive $100 as well. What's really exciting is that the first place winner will go on to compete to represent CMU at the Midwestern Association of Graduate Schools Conference on April 4th. The expenses will be covered by CMU. What about eligibility? Am I allowed to participate in 3MT, you might be wondering? A student must be enrolled in a master's or doctoral program or be in the College of Medicine. And you must have a program that requires an original research project. It doesn't technically have to be a thesis or dissertation, although those are most common. The student must also be enrolled at CMU during the summer of 2024, fall of 2024, or spring of 2025. Students may compete virtually for the preliminary round, but you will need to be on campus for the final round, which is February 28th. How would you get started to make a 3MT presentation? First, you need to really identify the why, the significance of your research result. And that actually can be a really hard part. You want to watch a few example successful talks and read through our top 10 tips to get an idea of what you're shooting for. What's the goal? Then you can draft your script. You want to remember to avoid all technical jargon because the audience is a general audience. You should get feedback on your draft as you're presenting it so that you can revise it and make sure that everything you're saying is understandable. Then, after you finalize your script, you can design your PowerPoint slide using the top 10 tips and examples that follow on the next slides. And then, of course, you want to practice. So here I am going to share top 10 tips for the 3MT competition from a former 3MT coach named Henry Miller, who is now at the University of Texas Health San Antonio. Okay, as I mentioned, identifying your why as your first step is really important. because you want to start your actual presentation with the significance of the problem you are trying to solve. This is going to serve as a hook to your audience and get them really engaged. And then at the end of your talk, you want to repeat that significance, that why, as well as including a vision for the future. Top 10 tip number 2 is to lose the details. Start with broad, accessible ideas and work towards those general details of the work, and then finish broadly again. The audience has to understand every point you make. So the basic structure is sort of an hourglass. Broad, getting a little more specific in the middle, and then ending broadly. Tip number 3 is to tell a story. You can use a bit of drama to your advantage. Be the storyteller. Consider a structure with a cycle of posing a question and answering it. And here we are sharing a YouTube link where you can see a great example where a student successfully told a story. Tip number 4, the PowerPoint slide is a trap. Do not fall for it. Resist the urge to put a lot of information on this slide. The best slides of 3MT winners have very little to no actual information. Use the slide instead to set a mood or tone or convey a main talking point. And a great example is shown here in this YouTube link. Tip 5. Another idea is to use the PowerPoint slide as a prop, and there's an example where this option worked particularly well. Tip number 6. Take the listener on a journey that transforms their worldview. And an example of this is also shared here. Tip number 7. Breathe. Speak slowly. Before you start, take a breath to center yourself, and try speaking when you're practicing at 50 to 65% of your typical speaking speed. If you practice speaking slowly, then if you get nervous during the actual competition and speed up, it won't be too fast. Tip number 8, don't tell. Once you have a final script for your talk, it's important to style it. What we mean by this is adding some pauses, varying the speed and the volume throughout the presentation, using body language. A great example is shared here in this YouTube link. Tip number 9, practice. If you want to win, especially at regionals, you will need to be able to combine the words, the way the words are spoken, and gestures and facial expressions to convey meaning. Practice removing the ums and pause instead. Tip number 10, stand on the shoulders of giants. Watch the previous year's 3MT finals at Queensland University. Emulate the aspects you like within your own speech. Watching TED Talks is also useful, although very few TED Talks are as short as 3 minutes. Bonus tip, most importantly, have fun. Participating in 3MT is going to make you a better researcher and communicator regardless of whether you win. So please consider coming to our workshop on January 24th at from 3 to 4:30 p.m. It's in the Strosacker Center in the Park Library. This information is on the Grad Studies webpage. You will learn from an expert from the CMU Presentation Skills Center, Dr. Leslie Withers. You will improve your general communication skills. Even if you're pretty sure you don't want to participate in 3MT, this workshop will be useful. Registration to compete in 3MT closes February 7th. And again, remember, participating and practicing is going to make you a better researcher and communicator. So we hope to see you there. Thank you.